So Illuminati has been confirmed. Francis Maxwell, Jason Rubin did do a clip saying, is Luis Enrique going to leave Barcelona at the end of the season, Jason?
Mm-hmm.
What happened the next day?
Luis Enrique decided that he was leaving Barcelona. What do I put, Enrique up here? Yep. I'm making the triangle, so it's very simple, guys. So geometry is not my strong suit in college. But we have, see, I'll just put it right here.
Why you can't see it on the screen?
I know, because it's white, so it's like it's trying to wipe out. It says Enrique, Jason, Francis, and that makes a triangle, and everyone knows that's how the Illuminati works. Ja'Cory, help me out here. Is that not how the Illuminati works?
That's just triangles in every way of life.
I can neither confirm nor deny that's how the Illuminati works.
The first rule about the Illuminati is you don't talk about the Illuminati.
Thank you, Ja'Cory.
And the only thing I know about the Illuminati is Michael Jackson was part of the Illuminati.
It was?
So was
I love the joke that, by the way, that was funny as hell. Jimmy Kimmel had a lot of good jokes at the Oscars, but he said, hey, Mel Gibson, you're looking great. Scientology's really rubbing off on you.
No, yes.
Boom. Right.
Okay, right before we get into Enrique, because you mentioned that, if anybody saw the best monologue for any of the award show, it was Nick Kroll and John Mulaney. And they made a very, very good point. They said, do you know how long it takes Hollywood to forgive anybody for being a racist, anti-Semitic piece of shit? 8 years, exactly 8 years, because it seems like Mel Gibson's allowed to be at award shows.
I know.
Don't forget, don't forget that Mel Gibson's a piece of shit, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, and just don't forget that he was an Australian guy who playing a Scottish actor who everyone likes to reference when they talk about Scottish anything. Like Mel Gibson's
See, look, he's offended both of us.
Both of us.
Rare does that happen. You get a Jew and a Scot offended by somebody who's Australian.
Right. But anyway,
Enrique is Spanish.
Luis Enrique is Spanish. So so Luis Enrique announced that he's going to be leaving Barcelona at the end of the season. I was actually kind of shocked, even though I did say that I thought he was going to leave, but only if they left on a high note.
Yeah,
like
so
if he was able to,
yeah.
for next year. So I'm actually surprised they announced it already. I think this might be a tactical ploy to motivate his players, because I don't think there's any dressing room split. I don't think there's any sort of problems with the players. Gerard Piqué basically come out and said in a quote, he took us over when we were in a hard position. He wanted a treble. Yeah. Like they loved Luis Enrique. I think he's got the managers back.
Then he has to say he's going to play his heart out for him for his last. Not that he wasn't playing his heart out before, but he's just saying the players have his back.
And I think that might be a bold decision. I think Enrique might have had a word in the ear and said, I might be leaving at the end of the year. And I think the board would have went, let's tell them now and let's get them motivated.
That's fair. You have a chart
for.
In front of you with a hilarious option at taking over, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. If anybody really fucking thinks, even ESPN FC, that Arsene Wenger deserves to take over Barcelona, I will eat this paper, my shoe, and my feelings in cake.
I didn't know you were going to go that way, because I don't know if you can necessarily say that he doesn't deserve it.
Oh, come on. Come on.
I think
hand Zidane the treble.
I think
hand it to him. Well, not the treble, because that includes the Champions League.
But I think that you're categorizing Arsene Wenger's current state of affairs. This is Arsene Wenger that started with Arsenal.
What else do I have to?
But no one has that. No one should ever have that long of a time as a manager, unless you're Alex Ferguson. Like, if Wenger left 6-7 years ago, he would have had a great record.
Of course he would have, but that was 6-7. If I were to have grown 9 inches 6-7 years ago, I would have probably been a better basketball player. These things don't actually happen. So here's the thing: if Arsene Wenger were to take over Barcelona, you're talking about the best press conference ever. They lose 2-1 in El Clasico, they'd be, well, I mean, the players. I don't have the talent surrounding the players I need. You know, aside from Messi, Iniesta, aside from Neymar, Suarez, aside from Piqué, and
I think that the only reason I think Arsenal fans are like, please God, just that would be great if he could go, because they would be dying for a change. As far as a team though, it'd be a good fit.
And then they get drawn with instead of Bayern, they just get drawn with fucking Barcelona in the next championship.
No doubt. Arsene Wenger, I wouldn't see it happening. The number 1 pick, which you'll see here, is Jorge Sampaoli, who's currently coaching at Sevilla.
Well, you have to take that with a grain of whatever the fucking phrase is. He said he's Sevilla for life. Mm-hmm. But
until Barcelona becomes vacant.
Barcelona's an opportunity, then you become Barcelona for life.
Yeah, when Barcelona becomes vacant, it changes a lot of people's point of view. I had this conversation with Kevin Egan over at 120 Sports, and we were talking about the idea that there's not a lot of managers like of the world-class stature that you imagine are available at the moment. But let's remind ourselves, Barcelona don't necessarily go in and take the world-class managers. They have managers that come in, relatively young, and then they become world class. Pep Guardiola was his first real senior job as a manager, and he left his footprint that's going to be there for years. Luis Enrique, the exact same thing.
Who's their youth?
He was a youth
coach right now. Would they hire within?
They keep it very much ancestral. A
Interesting.
lot of Barcelona.
Speaking of Pep, he got very emotional when talking about Enrique leaving Barcelona. Here's a
Snippet.
video of it, 45 seconds from the Daily Mail.
Two reactions, like a Barcelona fan, like supporters, like I'm sorry, the club of my heart. So I am so sad because we're going to miss the perfect trainer from Barcelona for his personality, character. He's 3 years, only 2 years, and now 3 years he played unbelievable football and with unbelievable players. So that is the point. The second one, if he decides that, I understand him completely. And of course, I wish him the best. It's just like a fan from a membership from Barcelona, just to can say thank you for all have done in these 3 years in my club.
So emotional.
So there's a trend here that
Romance.
Barcelona do, is that they do hire within, and it's not just guys that have been part of the club, but it's legends. Like Guardiola was phenomenal. Luis Enrique was phenomenal. They were phenomenal football players for Barcelona.
They're the Lakers.
So
I didn't realize
they like
that.
to keep it. They like to
the
keep it
Lakers.
within, except they go on and still keep winning.
Yeah, okay, just calm down.
So the choice is Jorge Sampaoli. To get back to him, yeah, he said he's Sevilla at heart. I think he's a phenomenal manager. I think he's got the character and the charisma. He's Argentinian. There's that Messi connection. I think it'd be an easy, seamless fit. The only thing that I'm concerned about is, again, I think he's a big name necessarily. Like, yeah, he's managed at Sevilla, but he's a very bold character, and I don't know if Barcelona usually go for that that fit into their system. They do like to kind of keep it within those that have played or managed there. So, but as far as those managers are available, Ronald Koeman is one that's been touted as potentially a manager to come in. I know they specifically have had very successful Dutch managers in the past who have been former players, Frank Rijkaard. So it's an interesting concept. I think if they had if they had the free pick of all the managers out there, and you're not allowed to take Guardiola back, and Luis Enrique isn't going to stay on, I'm interested to think who they would want to get. Like if they just could have their choice, I think they would go Unai Emery, PSG manager right now.
Interesting way, because they just got spanked.
Not just that, but even before that, I think
That would be a
good
Kevin
one.
Durant move.
Yeah.
Boo.
And that, yeah.
Francis. Crazy Jason thought Iniesta retires from world football, immediately becomes manager.
Nah, too soon. Too soon.
Come on, no one has fun with
Javi.
that. Javi? Woody?
I don't know. He's not even. I don't even think he's taking his coaching badges. I think he's too busy making a ridiculous amount of money in Qatar.
Is that where he is?
Yeah, playing football.
Is he building the stadium on the side too?
Fuck knows. I think they need all the help they can get. But yeah, the front runner according to ESPN is Jorge Sampaoli, and the rest of the list, as you say, Laurent Blanc, an outsider, managed at PSG, managed at France, got the accolades technically, got the experience. Is he the right fit to go into that team? Again, I think it's a dream job. You're literally getting handed a Mercedes-Benz on your first day. Even better, maybe even an all blacked out Range Rover.
So you think the equivalent to getting the arguable greatest football player to ever live is a Benz? Rolls-Royce is just put a hit on you. Lambo put a hit on you.
Just came to
Audi R8 put a hit on you. Maybe not.
No, but I think they need to make some tweaks. I don't think they've got everything.
They can send some tweets. Just let the world know.
Make some tweets.
They can send out a couple 140 character responses.
By the way, Bleacher Report have ran a recent article that said Jorge Sampaoli wins 7 fan polls on Luis Enrique's successor as Barcelona manager. Give him it then. He won the fan polls. Send him in there. He's got a nice bald head. Job done. The last bald-headed manager they had was a pretty successful one, I would say so myself. Let us know what you think. Barcelona fans, I'm sure you're out there somewhere in our comment section. Who do you want to see take over from Luis Enrique? And let us know what you think on Twitter, Francis.
By the way, supposedly our audio levels are up to broadcast standards, so I'm going to scream at you. See how it works with the audio board. How's that going over there, Bart? Just perfect.
Waking him up.